Hello, welcome back to the channel. So guys, in my part of the world we're having some extreme weather. We're having what's called a rain bomb. And I see a lot of my international viewers are a bit confused about what a rain bomb is. Guys, it's not a tornado or a hurricane. It's basically when a standard storm delivers that much rain that it's considered destructive. So that's why we call it what it is. It's a rain bomb. It's a torrential amount of rain. Yeah, there might be winds, but it's not necessarily a hurricane or a cyclone. It's just really intense storms. So shout out to my followers over on TikTok. When support workers were busy, I used my coping skills to go to them. So that's a really, really big thing. Internet communities are huge at the moment. But guys, wanted to sit down and talk about a couple of things. First one is to Swifties in Vienna. I hope you had a good time despite not being able to see Taylor Swift herself. And guys, from what I'm seeing on TikTok, you guys were polite, having fun, and dressed appropriately, spent money that Vienna could really, really use as well, and were looking after each other and the residents and were respectful. Thank you. Then, guys, I've said it in the past, I think 3 videos, but if you're a Swiftie or into any other fandom, please consider disability support work, whether that be a day centre, personal care, or being a PA for someone. Guys, being a PA for someone with a disability is probably the least intensive role. So it's generally keeping them organised. You might be doing a bit of care work, but generally those who are able to be fairly mobile themselves are the ones who need a PA. They might be like running a business, so you'll be doing typical admin business related tasks as a PA. Support worker, you're doing the typical support worker things, so that's housework, community access, taking them to and from appointments, personal care, medication. If they're medically complex, you may be on the team with nursing staff as well. And still looking for someone who is willing to come on and talk about community nursing and the difference between ward nursing and community-based nursing as well. Then I want to touch on digital footprint and digital safety. Gonna really respect the people's privacy, but it's brought back to me because I've said some unwise things on the YouTube and the blog about realise the law of unintended consequences. You're even with the right to be forgotten, the right to be deleted. I know there's now firms, particularly in America, that will unsubscribe you from things and handle all the legal stuff if sites push back as well. In Australia, the right to disconnect, delete stream laws, and the right to be forgotten have all got through the Senate. Dolly stream laws have a lot more substance, and so just check in on your tweens and teens, especially if they're on social media, things like that, making sure they're not being bullied, that they've got critical thinking skills, and that if what they're seeing doesn't match the reality, it's okay to switch off. And especially if it's a school situation, it's okay to report it to the school. In fact, I would say report it to the school or the day centre, other facility, ask the platform to take it down. And guys, that is a really big thing. Ask the platform to take it down, ask the creator to take it down, send a cease and desist letter if you need to. Especially in Australia, dolly stream law and cyberbullying is taken very seriously as well. But then my next question I kind of wanted to ask is a tricky one, because I've seen a lot of support workers over on TikTok. Well done for respecting clients' privacies, things like that as well. And guys, over on TikTok, there's Maddie and Billy who do a very unhinged cooking show. Can we please go and give them a follow? They could use the followers. They're getting up, doing the work. They could really use the followers. But digital footprint is really important as well. But guys, with the NDIS feedback and stuff like that, unfortunately, gaming therapy is on the chopping block. There is scientific evidence for gaming therapy, so I'm talking about social gaming, so computer game therapy that is structured in a way where you're using social stories, where you're learning how to behave online and then transitioning that into the offline world as well. So social stories, scripting, behaving in a group, waiting your turn are all evidenced in video game therapy. Going to try and talk to someone again about it. We're just trying to hook up times as well because I am going away. I also am coming up to a planned medical procedure, and I've got some appointments that people normally wouldn't have because I have reacted very badly into the anaesthetic in the past. In fact, check out my story video. That is the reason. Reaction to general anaesthetic, I think it was propanol, is the reason I have the brain damage in the first place as well. But then there's kind of another one that I wanted to talk about, and this is a really tricky one because, guys, I definitely agree with the support workers and support coordinators who are like, stop buying your client stuff on shift, because then you set up that expectation that you'll be buying that all the time. And I'm saying get that person to a point where they can afford whatever it is, the nails, the hair, the clothing, the coffee and cake in their own life. I agree with that 110%. Job opportunities, whether that be a sheltered workplace, whether that be content creation like myself, whether that be a micro business, bog standard job, working from home, data entry. Explore those options. Data entry. I know someone in Brisbane has got a bin cleaning business. It could be dog walking. It could be with the support worker running errands for other people as well. It could be sitting waiting in queues. The sky's the limit as long as it's legal, ethical, and within that person's capabilities as well. Because I think with the NDIS cutbacks, economic independence is going to be a huge, huge push going forward as well. It's going to depend on the agency's ethics, the client's family's ethics, and their guardian's ethics. Sometimes their guardian is different to their family. I'm under supported decision making, but we've set that up in a way that I have a bit of freedom of choice as well, which is huge. But this is where the tricky thing comes in, but what happens if you've got stuff, so you're doing a declutter and you've noticed the client is saving up for those items and you were about to throw those items to an op shop? Is that okay? So it's really one of those questions where I'm like, is this okay? Isn't it okay? I'll be honest and open, I have accepted some clothing, some food that people can't eat, some clothing, some food, and some shoes that were all just clutter to a support worker. I have offered money for them, so it's all above board. I've let my support coordinator know, and it's kind of like, yes, it is one of those things where you're helping the community because you're cutting out the middleman of the op shop. You're going, okay, no, charity starts at home, so I'm going to be giving it to this person. Or is that questionable with ethics? And I think these are the discussions we need to have of where are the ethics, where are the professional boundaries in the world. This is why I am so for support worker registration, because that registration board be it for good or for bad, will have a code of ethics, it will have boundaries, it will have a disciplinary arm. And so, guys, I would prepare yourself for looking at your agencies, or if you're independent, your own boundaries, ethics, and professional conduct, because it will bring people in line with other health professionals. I see that support work should be under the umbrella of health professional, because you guys are dealing with mental health, you're dealing with nutrition, you're dealing with medication. Yes, you are doing housework. Yes, you are doing transport. But they are all tasks that a support worker should have a basic idea of as well. Um, Being able to be accountable to someone other than your agency, or if you don't have an agency, that registration board, rather than just the NDIA, I see as a good thing because it protects clients. Because when I was reading through the list of what NDIA has funded, I'm like, some of these don't make sense. Some of your natural health therapies, I'm like, if the health department would fund them, that would be great. But things like seeing a psyche, tarot readers, hair and nails, I'm like, huh? But if that is the hair and nails, I can kind of see both sides, where if a person is struggling with depression and that's part of a makeover to make them feel good, I can understand. But there are other scientific proven therapies that are also on the chopping block as well. I don't want to get political here, but I'm like, with having a registration board, whether it be a clearinghouse, there will be boundaries, there will be ethical standards, there will be a minimum level of training, there will be continuing professional education, there will be social media guidelines, there will be disciplinary actions as well. There will also potentially be a dress code as well. I have talked about the uniform debate on my blog as well. But my personal opinions of uniforms is it should be a non-starter, because it provides a level of professionalism. If there's a place where it is genuinely not safe for the support worker to wear a uniform, please ask them ahead of time to wear something else. But they are doing a job. I'm not ashamed to be seen in public with my support team. In fact, I think it destigmatizes disability in support work. It also eliminates that competition of who's wearing what as well. But I can also understand if you're in a SIL house, you're not taking clients out, as long as you're dressing appropriately and understanding what is appropriate. As well, Deb and I have talked about appropriate dressing on here and on the podcast, and I've talked about it extensively over on the blog as well. But my basic recap of thoughts is have a business side of casual. So, guys, the things that I've seen that I think are completely acceptable, especially in the heart of winter, is Doc Martens, jeans, band t-shirts and hoodies. Great, you can't identify whether that's a support worker or I'm hanging out with a friend. With my new agency, they have a uniform, black pants, sensible shoes, or their embroidered polo shirt, hoodies, and they do have raincoat. And they do weirdly have togs, but the amount of people I've seen at the local pool, that's now starting to make a lot of sense as well. Then I've seen jeans, appropriate band t-shirts and hoodies as well. I've also seen different styles of pants, your bit funky pinstripe pants. I've also seen someone wear scrub type pants and a polo shirt as well. But basically, as long as it's covered, clean, appropriate, and if there's got faces on it, it's age appropriate and non-offensive as well. So I don't want to see someone come in. I would think it's funny as hell, but not appropriate seeing someone come in with jeans, kicks, and a welcome to the shit show t-shirt. Not appropriate for a SIL house or support work. Definitely appropriate for me on the YouTube. Uh, Guys, there's plenty of YouTubers, TikTokers who talk about dressing appropriately. Definitely check out Refashion Tippy and Career Contessa for how to dress for the jobs you want as well. But no, that's kind of a thing of going into the ethics of if you're buying stuff, how do you deal with that and deal with that then expectation that the person will be receiving that every shift when that person is on? Or then the next one being receiving clothing because you've grown out of it. With the clothing, for me, I have oh, that's going to an op shop. Okay, person's offers to drop it off, and they've been like, look, I couldn't tell you, but we went through it. Do you mind? I'm like, it was going to an op shop anyway. So it's an interesting one to get my head around as well. So guys, yep, going away. I've got the planned procedure, and then I am going away to recover from that procedure as well. So I'm doing a lot of pre-recording as well. And guys, can I just stress the importance of preventative healthcare as well? I've been on the waiting list because Australia has socialised healthcare. You can choose to go to the private system, but because this is a non-urgent preventative test, I have chosen to go to the public system as well. So guys, it is harder. We are seeing a privatisation and Americanisation of the health system. But guys, can I say budgeting is a key tool as well. Budgeting and earning an income, whether it be content creation, whether it be filling out those consumer surveys, whether it be looking for a bog standard job, really important at the moment. So guys, that's where we're at the moment. And guys, due to the weather, we've had to rejig some of the guests as well. We are hoping to record remotely as well. So guys, teed up a time with the community pharmacist. Also, Deb, once she's dealing with the things in her personal life as well, going to be talking to Social Gamer as well. And it should be dropping today. I will check because it was in my draft files. If I've got to upload it, please let me know as someone from the cryptography community as well on the podcast. So guys, if you've made it this far, if you can share, subscribe, comment. See you guys.